Good morning, everyone. I'm Sebastian, and I run strategy at the S Group, also M&A and new business development, and a little bit of venturing, which I'll talk about today. So the S Group is the local cooperative, number one grocery and food retailer, leading consumer hotel and restaurant operator, largest gas station and service provider for consumers. We have a bank and so forth, so relatively broad portfolio businesses across the consumer space. I'll talk today about how we can help accelerate retail innovation in Finland. And retail innovation is more relevant than ever today. Most consumers are already digital, not fully digital, but digital in the sense that they use digital services and products on their smartphones. Mobile first, very much so already today. The second piece, like we've heard many times today, is that competition is global. Consumers expect the same level of service as they see around themselves. Whatever is going on in the world, anywhere, is the level of service, is the kind of products that people expect to see. And they actually shop online globally. In Finland, people shop relatively a lot internationally compared to, for example, the other Nordic countries. So we have a lot to do there as an industry. We've heard today about price and convenience. Those are really qualifying factors for the business today. Even discounters today are investing in better service, same day delivery, and at the same time, almost every retailer is facing quite substantial price pressure as competition is getting global, as the internet enables full transparency across companies and products. And transparency also in terms of corporate responsibility is very much something that's topical. Consumers are more and more making choices in how they behave and how they consume based also on ethical and environmental factors. So the S Group is looking at the digital transformation or digital agenda in three different groups. Digital is touching everything, but it helps to put it in distinct boxes. Personalization, the same thing that Johanna spoke about here earlier. There was a big trend towards big box retailing where scale drove efficiency, and now the next step is really turning what most retailers thought of advertising into a service, where consumers actually get a better service because retailers are able to use the data that they have to offer them a more relevant, a more value-adding experience. So moving from pushing things to consumers to providing them with better service. And there's a whole lot of data. We have enormous amounts of data. Almost every retailer has enormous amounts of data. The challenge is to turn that into something that's engaging and rewarding and meaningful to the consumers, not just coupons or rebates. Number two here is the multi-channel experience. I think it's quite broadly known today that the time of the single channel growth of online is over. And almost every major retailer in the world, whether it's online or traditional brick and mortar, is mixing over to the other side. And the only way forward really for retailers to grow and offer more value to customers is to be present in all the different channels where the consumers are present and create a seamless journey where the consumer may pop in your store to look at the pieces, then they may be online, they may be paying with some digital means, and in the end, afterwards, you have interactions with them wherever they are, in whatever channel they wish to reach you, whether it's a chatbot or a voice, email, fax, not so much anymore. And then the third bucket is process efficiency. And there, as S Group, we have, given that our focus is very much on focusing on giving consumers value as a cooperative, we've invested here very much. We're building in the final phases of a 600 million fully automated food distribution center in Sipoo, for example. which really enables us to take advantage of robotization and advances in technology. Very much in the same way, every piece of the chain is digitizing, and new entrants can come in and disaggregate the value chain, or existing players can simply disappear, because what is retail? Retail is really matching supply and demand, and if your customers can talk directly to your suppliers, as they can today in an online world, then there's no need for you to exist. You're an inefficiency in the supply chain if customers and suppliers can talk directly to each other, and they will if you are an inefficiency. And therefore, you need to be able to provide a more efficient way of meeting supply and demand than anyone else to have a place in the world as a retailer. So, what are we doing to help accelerate the retail innovation ecosystem in Finland? We have something which we call the S-Lab. It's not a formal accelerator. It's a very informal program where we are putting together our agenda of corporate responsibility, the interest that we have and the desire to bring new products and services to market, the need to experiment and test new technologies, and also the emergence of new business models and our ability to test and try them out. Together, all of that is what we call S-Lab, and there we want to try real things. This is not a paper exercise, so we're not interested in funding ideas. We're interested in taking things that already work and test them in the market, and you really have to test in retail. Retail is detail, as they say. Why do they say that? Because retail is not difficult, it's just very, very complicated. There are so many different things that you have to get right in order to add value in retail, and you have to test it with real customers in a real environment. And that's the number one objective of the S-Lab, to find those new opportunities and test them out. This is not R&D, this is market validation. We don't fund startups. There's lots of smart money out there where you can get lots of good insights into how you should grow your startup. We are not great at that. We are great at being a very demanding customer where you can validate whether you add real value or not. And therefore, we don't have any equity program, but we're a good reference. What have we done over the years? These are some of the recent things that we've done. We just worked recently with testing in-store navigation, figuring out how you can get accuracy to the right level so that you can, in fact, then provide better services to consumers. Voice UI is a topical theme for us right now. We've worked with food waste reduction. As you may have noticed, we are putting a lot of effort right now into making sure that there's less and less waste of food in retail, in restaurants, and so forth. Also, we have some activities going around on food innovation. We have a food manifest. We believe that Finnish food is underinvested. There's lots of innovation opportunities, lots of products around Finnish domestic food that could be productized and brought to market, and we're eager to help with that too. So, the market here, as we heard from Pekka earlier, tech-savvy, well-educated digital consumers, it works well. That's a very interesting platform to try things. We have been an integral part of working with a number of startups in helping them internationalize. We are a proud partner of RELEX from a long time ago, for example, helping them grow, also other companies. And the world is changing so quickly that we always try to seek new models of participating and finding ways to bring value, and we want to invite companies to come and work with us. So, go to S-Lab and find out about the program, and then let's do some cool things. Thank you.